Still haven't joined news today. We'll bring you more stories on this coronavirus situation and health facilities engaged in coronavirus preventive activities in Kumasi are calling for personal protective equipment for their frontline staff. Authorities say nose masks, clothing and sanitizers are in short supply amid pressure on internally generated funds due to unpaid national health insurance arrears. Medical Superintendent at Suntreso Government Hospital, Dr. Thomas Ejakupoku, told the Metro Health Committee on COVID-19 the hospital is unable to purchase more logistics until the insurance authority settles its indebtedness. The committee was on a tour to assess preparedness of health facilities to deal with any coronavirus updates. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko has more.
The team's first stop was at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, where members and journalists were taken through the screening process set up by management. At Suntreso Government Hospital, the committee found management was operating what officials describe as a one-entry policy. All visitors to the facility were taken through compulsory screening and hand-washing process. However, frontline health staff told the team they lack the necessary protection.
Are available. The PPEs are readily available. I don't think that there will be any room for panic. But if they are inadequate, then there's a concern because we have to protect ourselves and as well the patients that come into contact with us. So those are major concerns, that the basic logistics, the PPEs that we need, which will be provided for us. Yes.
Medical Superintendent Dr. Ajakupoku called on government to pay 3 months of NHIS arrears to enable them purchase protective gear.
Yes, there are a few things we can do here using our IGF, but for now, most of our men hold up the national health insurance. So we are pleading with the government, if because of this infection, government can pay us 3 months up to about July or August, then we can do something here with what we have.
At Menchia Hospital, the team lent sensitization programs and screening processes instituted by management have encouraged voluntary reporting of suspected cases. Dr. Kamaruddin Koku Hussein is the medical superintendent.
She was a 27-year-old lady. She's staying at Tafo. And then she claims that, she sells, I think, the hair, the one they braid. So she claims that some white people have been coming to her to buy the hair. And she was told that one of those ladies was coughing. And when she also started coughing, she thought she should come and be checked. And she was really coughing, and she had a pneumonia actually. Yeah, she had a pneumonia, so she was really coughing. So we suspected the pneumonia, but because the way she was insisting that she could be exposed, that we should check her for the virus, we had to, just as a precautionary measure, we had to isolate her and then check. That's what really happened. So we called our disease control officers. They came, took the sample, sent to KCCI, and it turned negative.
Mayor of Kumasi, Osei Esibe Entry, called for concerted efforts to fight the virus.
I will take this opportunity to advise all the private hospitals to get ready. And to the media, you should also come on board for us to step up the education, because the education is key. Now, I've gotten this slogan from Dr. Kwakun that together we fight and together we win. So if we all come together and you sensitize the public to stay apart, keep the 2 meters away, use the sanitizers frequently, especially those who are counting money. After counting it, you need to use your sanitizer. So then you drink more water. If you drink more water, you wouldn't become dehydrated. So let us all follow the instructions that has been given us, and as a country, we will come out clean.
The team had enough time to visit the new Kumasi Central Market. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaridonko, Kumasi.
Now, away from that story, President Akufo-Addo has communicated to Parliament the appointment of 4 new Supreme Court justices, including Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu. The rest are Justice Clement Honyenuga, Justice Isifu Tanko, and Emmanuel Yoni Kolendi. Speaker Reverend Professor Michael Kwe announced the nominees to MPs a while ago. The list has been referred to the Appointment Committee of Parliament for them to be vetted. Congratulations to the nominees. We move to other stories. 18 residents of the Upper West region have so far been killed by meningitis outbreak in the region. But it appears little national attention is being given it because of the coronavirus issue currently being dealt with. Upper West Regional Health Director Dr. Osei-Kuffour Afre says this is worrying. The latest reporting of the cases in health facilities in the region is compounding the problem. Let's listen to him. Opposition National Democratic Congress has sued the Electoral Commission of Ghana over the compilation of a new voters register. This follows persistent calls by the NDC and other political parties for the action to be halted, but to no avail. The National Communications Officer of the party, Sami Jainfi, joins us via telephone. Mr. Jainfi, what reliefs are you seeking?
First of all, seeking a relief from the Supreme Court of Ghana to the effect that the purported amendment that is because Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution is very clear. If you check the Abu Ramadan Supreme Court ruling, her leadership, George, the Chief Justice of Ghana, made it clear that once somebody holds a valid voter's ID card, it is prima facie proof of citizenship, because by Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution, only citizens of entitled to be registered issued with voters ID card. And so for us, once the Supreme Court has already ruled that holding a voter's ID card is proof of you being a citizen of Ghana, then the EC cannot pass a law and exclude the voter's ID card as, one of the official documents by which a citizen can prove his or her citizenship. We think that exclusion is whimsical, it is unreasonable, it is capricious, and it violates Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution, which governs the exercise of discretionary power. That what the EC is doing is not in the interest of Ghana.
Right.
And so plans are already underway relative to that. You can be challenging that court. But this suit is different.
Okay.
Specifically has to do with
the
an
exclusion
amendment
of voter ID cards for us when you are compiling a new register.
Exactly.
Now, the argument has been raised, Mr. Jainfi, that the old register had challenges, that those voter ID cards were procured using that have been stipulated, by the Supreme Court, and so it will be necessary for those to be phased out so that new cards are procured.
Let me answer this three ways. Number one, the credibility of the current voters register has not been impugned in this whole discussion about whether or not Ghana needs to compile any register. Not the EC themselves confirmed that the current voters register, as we have it, is very credible. That was before the 2019 district level election. We were all in this country when they said that the voters register is credible. The register was compiled in 2012, has been used for 2 general elections with successful, legitimate outcomes. It's been used for 2 district level elections, and it's been used for a referendum regions, which the results of all these elections have been attested by the electoral management body as credible. Never have they impugned the credibility of the voters register. That's number one. Number two, don't the passport, doesn't the passport office admit voters' ID card as one of the primary documents, or evidence of citizenship? They admit it.
Right. Mr. Jemfi, thank you very much for joining us, and we appreciate you coming to explain the issues. Of course, the court will decide on this particular case. Card can be used in registering for the next election. We move from this story, and 2 stakeholders in education have cast doubt over the effectiveness of distance learning programs that the president.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for business. In our first story, African countries expect to lose more than $110 billion over the next 3 months as a result of the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus. According to the African Energy Chamber, the situation will impact significantly on local producers and government taxes from the oil and gas sector. The South African-based Energy Chamber is therefore urging oil-producing countries on the continent to grant some tax waivers to exploration companies. More, the following report.
The African Energy Chamber is urging African countries engaged in petroleum operations and other local service companies improve their liquidity and also reduce some of the losses in revenue while preventing job losses. Should the current price war continue, many marginal field producers will likely go out of business, exploration programs will be halted, licensing rounds will fail, and the oil majors will have to make difficult decisions to scale back operations.
Pharmacy Ghana says government is raising a 500 million cedi bond to settle the backlog of debt. The bond is expected to be issued on Friday. Now, importation of essential ingredients by India. Here's CEO of the Chamber of Mecca.
Currently, the pharmaceutical sector is ready, and we are confident of supplying any form of medicine for the treatment stage. That's not a problem at all. It's not a problem. We don't need to import those finished products. What we have, we'll be able to take care of the system for now. But the government is also going to procure tests to other hospitals. beyond 3 months, we need to get some of these materials, raw materials, to furniture. What we want for the service providers to pay for the supplies. So Ministry of Finance is going to raise bond that is going to the outstanding. Then they will make sure that they pay on a monthly basis to the tune of almost 70 million Ghana cedi to the service provider.
While still on the impact of COVID-19, indigenous carrier Africa World Airlines says it is reducing its local flights by 20% and regional flights by 45% following government's travel restriction. The travel restriction, which came into force on Tuesday, bars from endemic regions from Chief Operations Officer of Africa World Airlines, Sean Mendes, tells Joy Business despite the setback, the company is poised to manage the financial shock. Staff.
There has been an impact on the number of passengers who are traveling in recent days. The travel advisory that the government of Ghana has put out, which effectively bans non-essential travel to Ghana effective 1300 hours today, is already showing an impact on regional routes by about 45% and on domestic routes by about 20%. But we'd also realize airline operator, we have a responsibility to the communities that we serve to maintain a level of essential service. So we're going to maintain service to all of our destinations for now, and we're continuing to maintain that as long as it is feasible to do so.
So with this trim that you are seeing, 20% and 45%, that's pretty huge. How is this also impacting your revenues, your financials?
Well, certainly the revenues are taking a hit, but of course when you're not flying these flights as well, there is a savings on the cost side as well. That we're well positioned to be able to ride this out. So at this time, we're not looking at layoffs or anything else. We are confident enough that the measures we are taking, both operationally as well as financially, to conserve our resources and to optimally deploy them for the benefit of our staff, for the benefit of the consumers and the traveling public in general. With AWA, you can fly safe and fly confident.
More coming up on the marketplace at the top of the Sports on News Today.